Hello everyone, and welcome back to Silva's Mill. In this video, I'm going to be cutting this log into 2x6 lumber. I end up with a 10-inch cant, and once I get it into a cant, I'll explain my layout a little bit further in depth on how I cut this thing up. So, I hope you enjoy. I hope you get something out of this, and I hope it helps. All right, everyone. I bring you back here to talk a little bit about how I draw my layout on my log cant. Whether or not this is like the way you're supposed to do it or not, I don't know. It's just what works for me and what some of the old timer guys, the little tips and tricks that they gave me. So anyhow, and especially dealing with the log that had logs that have rot in them. It's not a perfect log, so you got to do what you can with what you have. So anyhow, if you can see how I got it laid out on here, and I'm going for 2x6 lumber, so I'll be able to get, with the way I have this laid out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one here, and then a 6th one right here. Because I don't know if you can tell, this is rot all right in here. This is all going to be waste. I think I marked it with a W. Yeah, for waste, I need to cut this. It's about a 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch layer off the top to get it all the size. But I'll be able to get, looks like a 2x4 out of here, and then down here the waste part is at the bottom. And this could be another 2x6 stud, but there's too much rot, so it's likely just gonna end up being like a 1x6, and then figure out what to do from there. So I hope that kind of helps someone, if you're kind of figuring out how to cut up a log. I know, again, it's probably not the right way you're supposed to do it, but it's just framing lumber, so it's gonna work or not. So gotta leave the waste out of it. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but this whole side right here is just a considerable amount of rot, and even through the top here a little bit. So, all right, I'm gonna get this cut up and I'll go from there. All right, everyone. After another day of milling, we ended up with 6 more studs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then also a 2x4. There's a little bit of you know, wanes and rot on the end of this one, and then this 2x4 has a little section of rot there, but the rest of it's still decent lumber. So all right, I'm happy with that. And that was out of that. The log that was on the mill was it was the top of the tree, so it was 15-inch on the larger end and then 13 on the other end. So the next one here is another one that has considerable rot, but it's a pretty decent sized log. I believe it's 18 inches over here on this end. Here, let's get the tape and see. But it's really big at the base end. Get the tape out. The base end there, that's all of 24 inches, and I had to trim that thing down. You can see where I had to make some cuts because it was kind of had the little hook tail at the base. So I'm likely gonna have to cut some more of this off with the chainsaw before I put it up on the mill, because that's only 22-inch. You know, I could probably make it go by taking a lighter cut, but I'll just have some fun with the chainsaw and cut the rod away, and then down to the 18-inch size, which it'll do no problem. So all right, everyone, hope you enjoyed watching me mill 2x6 lumber. But if you're interested in getting one of these mills, I would recommend it. It's pretty kick-ass. So I have no complaints, and it does everything I need it to. The watering system's automatic. Yeah. So all right, until the next one, I'll see everyone on the next one. And if you stumbled upon just this video, I encourage you to go and check out my other content. It's mostly about my video vlogging of me rehabilitating my mining claims that I inherited, and also these milling videos, because eventually I'll be using this mill to mill the timbers to rebuild the portals up at the mining claims. So if you're wondering why does he have mill video, you know, sawmilling videos, it's related somewhat. So, and then the lumber I'm cutting is to build my shop. I got the slab ready, but just need the lumber. So all right, again, hope you enjoyed. I'll see everyone on the next one. Take care, everyone.